You're managed by Rock Nation.
Absolutely.
Okay. How do you feel about the whole Jay-Z thing and the whole kneeling? We're past that.
So I want to educate young people on something. Um, I want to do another Chuck D reference because I just saw recently he was posting about the fact that he stopped using the N-word. Right?
Chuck D.
Chuck D.
Who rarely used it anyways.
Who rarely used it is a lyricist, and for those who haven't been paying attention to the industry, has bars.
Yeah.
Okay?
The only time I heard him in the hands of a pull the trigger.
Yeah.
What song was that?
Come on down. Welcome to the Terror Dome.
Welcome to the Terror Dome. There we go.
So
that's the only time I've heard him say that.
Just think about what we just did. You said a half of a melody to a song that came out 30 years ago.
Right, and you knew exactly what it was.
Knew the record.
Yep.
One of my hobbies is DJing. But also, that's the difference between how the game is now. I remember going to the record store on Tuesday. Can't wait till Tuesday.
Right. That's when the albums came out.
Go buy the record, go read the credits, go listen to it all, consume. That's when musicians were being groomed to be artists. Mm-hmm. And so when him saying he stopped using the N-word, I responded because that's one of my idols. Chuck D is like, listening to his music back in the day is like just so dope. And still to this day, still selling out shows across the world.
Yeah.
I noticed when I responded, I had some people hitting me back trying to question our motives. I'm like, So first off, I can say and not say what I want. That's my opinion. That's one. Two, I understand the power in words and how your tongue is a sword. And he used the term that I loved, that in vocabulary, it represents an STD, slavery transmitted disease. Because now we just want to hold on to the word so much and take so much pride in, yeah, I used it. Can nobody tell me I can't use it? And that's fine. But if you've ever been to a concert and a lot of these artists is going platinum, double platinum, and triple platinum, there are a lot of different people buying their music.
Mm-hmm. Singing along.
And they're singing along.
N-words and all.
N-words and all.
Yep.
And I don't blame them. They're enjoying the music. That's entertainment. I can separate Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Terminator. Mm-hmm. I can separate the two. So in this context, I was like, I stopped using it 16 years ago. It don't make me better than anybody else. It don't make me tough or cool or hard. So why did you do it? One, I wanted to expand my vocabulary because I wanted to work in this industry. And I cursed like a sailor at different points of my life. And doing so much live TV as I do now, that ain't working towards my goal. Two, I remember being in the league in the suburbs at the mall with my homeboys, and we're the minority. But we're yelling it across the mall. Yo! I'm like, just looking at the reaction of like the other people around, black, white, whoever. It was kind of like an uneasiness of like, whatever. And then I decided, if I don't want somebody saying it to me, and I don't want somebody singing along with it in a rap lyric, maybe I personally can and should stop saying it, so I did. That's all. And I brought up that analogy as you asked me about Jay-Z and the NFL for the same reason. Number one, I always take into account who's making the moves and or who's speaking. First off, I'm about to disqualify 95% of people talking about this topic that don't get back to their community.
Yeah, Jay-Z actually, because someone asked him about it, and he broke down. He goes, you have 365 days in a year. I could tell you during those last 365 days how many people I've kept out of jail, how many people I help feed, how many people I help with lawyers. Can you do that?
Correct.
The Twitter chatter is cool. We get it. But how many people have you actually, had actions that actually helped?
Correct. So a couple of things. One, I always take into account who's speaking and or who's doing the action, because that allows me to get a track record on their true intention based on what they've already done. That may seem simple, but that's like a life skill that I make sure that I apply.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look back at what he's been able to accomplish as a man, as an entrepreneur, as an artist, as somebody that's been a social activist, I trust that track record. And is another side of the street that I got to expose young people to. I remember a time when I was young. Both of these gentlemen, God rest their soul, were not here anymore. I remember hearing whose method was better or worse, MLK or Malcolm X. I remember these debates like you might remember Prince and Michael Jackson debates. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah, non-violent versus violent.
Correct. Or just the approach.
Mm-hmm.
Just the approach. And so what I'm getting at is there has to be multiple sacrifices, not just one. And I was one of and still am, an avid supporter of Colin Kaepernick. I think as long as you're remembered by what you did away from the field more than what you did on the field, that's a win. There's a score of the game and a game of life. And when I start to think back at all of the athletes that were socially and politically conscious that made a stand, I'm like Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Tommy Smith, John Carlos. Like you go on and on and on. He gets named.
Kaepernick. Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick will get named. So now, what did that cost him? His career.
So you feel he got blackballed?
Absolutely. Not feel. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he absolutely did. Him not being in the NFL has nothing to do with the fact that he isn't one of the best 80 quarterbacks walking the face of the earth.